Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then hi, hello. Guys, before you continue watching this video, I'm going to stop you right there. You can subscribe down below and turn on your post notifications so you never miss when I post a lit video. If you're not new here and you have been here from the start, the middle, whatever, thank you guys for joining me again on another video. Today, I am going to pretend to be a MUA. So if you don't have me on Instagram, I'm going to put my Instagram up here. Follow me. Disclaimer, I haven't shaved my pits. I'm gonna wait for them to grow a bit more, but it would have been the normal thing to do to shave them before starting this video. I know, I'm disgusting, I am a tramp. So if you see the hairs pop out every once in a while, just ignore them guys, okay? It's just armpit hair. I'm sorry if I offend you. As some of you may or may not know, I am in a relationship, long-term relationship, and I'm pregnant. Boom! Just a bump update, I'm 6 months pregnant. I think like almost 6.5 months pregnant now. So in about 2 weeks, I'm gonna be 7 months pregnant. So yeah, we're just gonna be talking on relationships and why men are trash, I guess. So if you're watching this video, which you know you're probably not because it's a makeup video. I love you really. By the way, I don't know if you guys noticed. Well, I mean, of course you've noticed because real life, let's be real, I have no brows. I've done my brows off camera because I don't know if it's just me, but I cannot do my brows on camera. Like, I cannot. Doing my brows takes a certain level of bloody concentration that I cannot master on camera. What am I flying? So guys, this is not a tutorial, so I'm not gonna be, look at me like warning you guys it's not a tutorial just in case it comes out shit. I'm not gonna be telling you guys what products I use and stuff and like how I do it because like I said, it's not a tutorial. I don't actually normally pump my makeup into the brush. I normally put it directly like on my face. I used to always do my makeup with a beauty blender. I just recently discovered doing it with a brush, and honestly I'm amazed and in love and can never go back to beauty blenders. So guys, I kind of like, I don't have a structure how, oh my god, that just went on my fucking skirt. Is not even fucking funny. What is wrong with this pump? Anyways, I don't really have a structure for like, I'm gonna start this off or like what I'm gonna actually talk about. Just gonna talk. Just basically gonna speak on my take on relationships and the pros and the cons and what it's like living with your partner, with insecurities and trust issues in a relationship if you have them, if you don't. A little girly chit chat, you know? For those of you that don't know, even though I did just mention it in the beginning of the video, so you obviously do know, I am in a relationship at the moment. I'm in a relationship and we're coming up to about 4 years now. So in a few months it's going to be 4 years. And this is, I would say, the most serious relationship that I have been in. Last relationship was 4 years also. But this one is just more serious just because of the fact that one, we have 2 kids together. And 2, we've lived with each other for the past 4 years basically. We pretty much moved in together super quick. We were together for like I think 4 months, and then I was sharing a flat with somebody at the time, and basically Joe just moved in and was just sharing my bedroom with me. I think the only reason why we moved in together so quick and rushed was just because of the fact that we were best friends for a year. So it wasn't like, oh, there's this boy that I'm speaking to, he's just asked me to be his girlfriend and we're gonna live together. It was for me, for us, especially the beginning of the relationship where it was much more like a friendship. It was like living with a friend that you have sex with all the time. It was like ideal. I remember in the beginning, like he didn't really want to move in that quick. And I think that he was kind of like used to his space also. Whereas I just came out of a relationship where we were pretty much always in each other's face. So for me, I kind of like craved that stability, if that makes sense. Whereas for him, the thought of stability too soon kind of scared him. He ended up moving in and it was honestly, it was great. I feel like when you live with a partner, my honest advice to living with a partner too soon is wait it out as much as you can. I know especially like in today's society, there's almost kind of like a pressure, like once you reach a certain age, it's like, okay, like when are you gonna get married, like when are you gonna have kids, like your age mates are starting family. Don't be pressured by that and don't feel like you need to have like your shit together, because having kids and getting married does not mean getting your shit together. You could be literally prospering in your job and your career, and that's called getting your shit together. You could be learning to self-love yourself and taking care of yourself, and that's getting your shit together. We all, I guess, have our own versions of getting our shit together. I have some friends that are kind of like, oh, all my friends have babies and all my friends have kids and they're starting their families and I'm just here on the sofa eating snacks every night. So what? Like, if that's what makes you happy and that's what you want to do, it's just a shame when people do have kids because they feel so pressurized, not only by friends but also mainly by family. Some cultures the family kind of would pressure you to get married or have kids at a certain age, because if you don't, it's almost like a disgrace to the family. Every time the aunties come over, they're kind of like, oh, when are you gonna find yourself a husband, or when are you gonna find yourself a wife, and blah blah blah. Honestly guys, there is no rush, man. There's honestly no rush. By the way, my setting powder I left at my sister's house, and my baking powder, so. But the reason why I say don't rush especially is because I feel like you want your relationship to succeed long-term wise. Take your time. The thing is, like, I'm not saying like if you move in with your partner straight away or have kids straight away your relationship is going to fail, because it actually does work for some people. Surprisingly, it has worked for us, but there were downsides to it, and I'm going to share that in a bit. Before we lived together and before kids were in the mix, it was kind of like, I remember I was working part-time in a retail store, and he was working full-time in a retail store. We're working in the same company. He actually got me the job there. I remember him like coming to pick me up after work. We'd go like cinema and go out to eat, etc. It just felt like a boyfriend and girlfriend, like a normal relationship. Kind of feels like teenagers all over again, like the excitement to see each other, and like you miss each other, etc. Couldn't wait to finish work, and I was like smiling with the customers and being over friendly because I'm like so happy deep inside because my boyfriend's coming to pick me up after work. I was living at my mum's house at the time, and it was just nice to kind of have that space, see each other on our days off. Or sometimes he would just come on a weekday and just park his car outside my mum's house, and we'd just sit in the car and like chill, go get some food, eat Chinese in the car, talk, whatever. Compared to now, it's like it's a different kind of happy. This is more like I feel settled, I feel stable, I feel like this is the man I'm gonna marry. Well, obviously this is the man I'm gonna have kids with, etc. But it's a lot more like a married couple rather than boyfriend and girlfriend. And in the beginning we kind of lost that friendship a little bit, which upset me a lot, because for me, like, our friendship was honestly like everything to me. What has helped us gain that friendship a lot was communication. But sometimes if I'm feeling a bit distant from him, or if he's feeling a bit distant from me, we would talk, just be like, we used to kind of like do this together, and I don't feel like we do this together, and kind of work together to just make that happen for us again. That's obviously also down to the fact that like we have a friendship, so we're able to talk about these things without feeling awkward or without feeling like I'm gonna offend that person. Now it's like we're at a point where we have both the relationship and the friendship. However, I would be like, if I'm chilling with my friends and we're like busting up, or we're showing each other stuff that's funny that we found, or blah blah blah, I'm able to do that with my partner. By the way, I'm not actually putting any eyeshadow on. I'm just basically buffing out the creases from the concealer. Just make the most out of each other. Like, don't rush to be serious so quickly. For us, it could have gone both ways. We could have completely fucked it up or gotten stronger. I'm very happy and very lucky that it did go one way and not the other. So I kind of snaked it and done the rest of my makeup off camera. So I was having this conversation with my friend the other day. We're both in relationships. The only difference is that I have kids with my boyfriend and she doesn't. And we were just basically talking about what we do for our men and what we wouldn't do for them. Like what we think is just like, no, I'm not doing that for him. And we kind of have really opposite mindsets, I guess. And then yeah, she pretty much says that she would cook for her boyfriend on the off chance, like sometimes she would cook for him. Keep in mind that they do also live together. She wouldn't cook every single day. She basically thinks that you shouldn't do wife things unless you have a ring on your finger. Until he makes you a wife, don't do wife things for him. I feel like so many people think that also. Like, I don't feel like it's just my friend. I feel like a lot of people think that also. And I'm not gonna lie, that was actually my mindset for a very, very, very long time. I'm more of a person where obviously I do wife things even though I don't have a ring on my finger yet. I think it's just like, for me it's just like, I think about it this way. Let's say wife things meant cooking and cleaning, or like taking care of your partner in terms of maybe washing his clothes for work, etc, etc, whatever it may be. If you feel like you're not gonna do that until you're married, then isn't it the same thing as your man saying to you, I'm not gonna financially provide for you, or I'm not gonna take you out and pay on the date because you're not my wife yet, or I'm not your husband yet. With the whole gender role thing, women are meant to be more like the housekeepers. Okay, when I say meant to be, okay, we're not meant to be housekeepers. You're not meant to be, but just like if we're talking on gender role specifically, women are more the housekeepers, the mothers, the ones that stay home and look after the children, the ones that look after the house. The man is more of like the provider financially. He puts food on the table for the family, etc, etc, etc. So if if you're gonna say that, you know, you're not gonna do your part until you have a ring on your finger, you're not gonna cook for him, etc., that for me, I just kind of felt like I wouldn't like it if my man said to me, well, I'm not gonna do this because you're not my wife yet. I would feel very offended. Okay, I'm not your wife yet, but if you know that your partner is going to become your husband one day, or if you know that your partner is going to become your wife one day, then surely you should be doing husband and wife things. You don't have to wait until you signed a piece of paper, or you don't have to wait until you have a ring on your finger to treat your man how he wants to be treated. And so obviously me and Joe have had like debates about this as well, because I was so adamant on, I was kind of like, no, I don't have to do it. So I was doing it anyway, like I've been doing it from day one, but I just kind of like made it clear that like I don't have to do this. I'm doing this because I want to do it. I'm cooking for you because I want to cook for you. And he just has a very different mindset to mine and very different like opinions. I think like over time and after like so many conversations and kind of like me trying to get him to see my side and like him trying to get me to see his side, I'm more kind of like, okay, like it makes sense. Only way for me to properly understand it is if I look at it from like other person's point of view. Like if that person said to me like, oh no, I'm not going to do this because you're not my wife yet, I would kind of feel like, okay, maybe he doesn't see me as his future wife. If he did, then wouldn't he just treat me like a wife already? Does that make sense? It might also be due to the fact that I'm a stay-at-home mum, because I feel like if we don't have kids and we live together and we're both working full-time, I should not be expected to cook every day. I'm so sorry. We've both come home knackered. As equally as each other, we are both knackered. I'm not gonna go in the kitchen just because I'm a female. That is one thing that I will say. It's not in my relationship, it's not because like I'm the woman that I do things, it's because I'm not the one that's working. Though like I do YouTube and I get paid for it, it's basically like I'm working from home. I'm not drained at the end of doing YouTube. I'm not drained at the end of making a video and editing it. It's long, but it's not draining. Only thing that I would say is draining, obviously, is being a mum and looking after kids at home. I'm lucky enough to do it in the comfort of my home, whereas he's out working full time. So when my partner comes home, I want him to have his dinner ready, because vice versa, if I was working, and actually I think when Enzo was like 9 weeks old, he broke his toe, so he was staying home for like 6 months, and I was the one that was working full time from like morning to like 11 p.m. and I'd be home at midnight because I'd be doing double shifts. I expect there to be food because I'm tired. Like, why would I come home and you've been at home all day and you haven't cooked before I've come? It's just kind of like, in some circumstances, it's kind of like common sense, I guess, but I guess every relationship is different. I still think that you should do things, but like to an extent. Like for me, I agree with like the whole cooking and like cleaning the house and blah blah blah. I don't feel like you have to wash the person's clothes. I don't feel like you should also treat them like a baby. For me, I'm like, I'm all for taking care of my man, making sure he's good, etc. When it comes to just like the little things that they can do for themselves, I'm just like, so do it for yourself then. I don't ask you to brush my hair or do my makeup in the morning or go wash my thong. I don't ask you to go wash my makeup brushes, because there's some things that you should do for yourself and your partner should do for themselves. Don't be so dependent on a woman to kind of like do everything for you. And I'm speaking generally here, because I don't want to make this video kind of like all about my relationship, me. I also want to kind of people that are watching this to be able to relate also. But yeah, I just feel like do things for your partner also because you want to, and not because you're a wife or you're a stay-at-home mum or you're the woman in the relationship. Things because you want to take care of your partner, because you want to do it, not because you feel like you have to do it because of gender roles and blah 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 blah. But you know, at the end of the day, every relationship is different. Do what works for you. I hate the spray so much, by the way. I use the Iconic spray. Also, something that I quickly wanted to speak about before I close out this video is insecurities in a relationship and self-love. The reason why I want to mention this is because this was another option that I put in my poll, and I thought, oh, it's a bit like sad for the people that did vote for it and I'm not going to be able to speak on it, so I thought I'd just quickly speak on it. So one thing also that I will say, like, say you are single right now, you deal with like insecurities, whether it's insecurities within yourself or trust issues with like your friends or whatever, or boys that you've dated or spoken to in the past. I highly recommend that you work on that before getting into a relationship, because I have a video on my YouTube which is called Exposing My Relationship. I was honestly just like so honest with you guys about everything, about myself, about my trust issues, about how I was before, how I am now, etc, etc. I made the mistake of entering a relationship when I had already severe trust issues from my past relationship. I didn't have trust issues, but because I kept getting accused all the time and my partner at the time had trust issues, it kind of like rubbed off onto me. Also, just getting kind of like fucked over by friends, fucked over by boys, like after that relationship, boys that I was seeing, boys that I was talking to, etc. Kind of was just kind of like, they're not trash, they're actually trash. When I got with Joe, I think what really saved us is the fact that we were friends. So I knew already what kind of person he was, knew his personality, like I knew him. He was literally like the male, well, he is literally the male version of me. So I kind of came to this relationship with really bad trust issues, and I think the second year of the relationship, which was when I was pregnant with Enzo, was probably the worst year for me. Also the hormones from pregnancy just didn't make it easier. I was just kind of paranoid all the time, just in general, not even just for my partner, but I just felt like everyone kind of like had an agenda. Everyone was gonna fuck me over. Like, don't put my trust into a human 100%. And I was so scared of getting hurt. You know when you know that you physically wouldn't be able to take the heartbreak if somebody done you wrong, try so hard to kind of prevent it. Then it gets to a point where it's like, listen, if someone's gonna fuck you over, if someone's gonna do you wrong, if someone's gonna cheat, if someone's gonna betray you, they're gonna do it. Like, if that's what they're gonna do, nothing that you can do to stop that process. The most you can do, honestly, is probably slow down the process, locking them in the house or not letting them have friends or not letting them do anything. But if someone wants to cheat, and if someone is going to cheat, they're going to do it. Doesn't matter what you do. And I had to learn that. I had to kind of tell myself, like, listen, say for example, like I wanted to cheat on my boyfriend. He was like really insecure and he didn't want me to leave the house, etc. It's going to stop me from cheating? No, it's not. The only thing it's going to make me do is, one, hate you, and two, cheat on you, because I was going to cheat on you anyway. I'm not going to say that I'm completely like a secure person and I completely trust everyone around me and blah blah blah. I'm definitely a lot more laid back. I think it took a lot of communication between me and Joe. We would have talks honestly almost every night, so possible to rebuild that trust. One thing that helped me also was starting to like love myself, because I felt like in the beginning I didn't like myself. I was comparing myself a lot to other girls. I was comparing myself to like Instagram girls that I saw on the streets. Just like, oh, if my boyfriend saw this picture, he would think that she's so buff. And then I'm looking at myself and I'm just like, I don't look like that. Like, if I was a boy and had to pick between me and this girl, I would pick this girl. So what's to stop my boyfriend from picking this girl? But yeah, it pretty much just became a really toxic cycle of me going on Instagram and Twitter or whatever, just to like obsess over these girls on Instagram, because I just didn't like myself. I didn't find myself pretty, didn't find myself attractive. And it was after I gave birth to Enzo, it was like a year after he was born, like he was a year old, that I started kind of like feeling myself again, and I started kind of taking care of myself again. And that doesn't always mean like doing my hair and my makeup, because I don't need to have hair and makeup on to feel good about myself, whereas back then I would need that. I say I was insecure about like my nose, for example, the fact that it like flicks up. Whether it's my partner or my family or my friends that tell me like, you have a really cute butter nose. Even when I started YouTube, people would compliment my nose all the time, and I'm like, isn't it crazy that one of my thought to be flaws is what other people find cute about me? It just goes to show that sometimes we can be really horrible to ourselves, and it's just not that deep. Like, we're all gonna have flaws, we're all gonna have something that we don't like about ourselves. Then the next person could think that like, that's what makes you you, that's what makes you really cute, or that's what makes you look really pretty, or blah blah blah. At the same time, don't depend on other people or rely on other people to kind of tell you that. You should know yourself that you're the shit. So I kind of started loving myself, speaking kindly to myself, realizing that I don't need to compare myself to these Instagram girls, because once you love yourself and realize how beautiful you are, and you're comfortable in the skin that you're in, and you've accepted your flaws, there's no girl online that could rattle you, that can make you question your own beauty. My favorite saying is, another woman's beauty is not the absence of your own, and it's so true. She didn't take some of your buffness to add onto hers. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of the same as like success, for example. When people say like, oh, like everyone's doing YouTube or everyone's doing this. You can have a million people that are successful on YouTube. It doesn't mean that 1,000,001 people cannot be successful on YouTube. Like, there's enough for everyone. It's the same with beauty. Like, we all have our own beauty. Someone else's beauty does not mean that we are less beautiful. So I feel like once I started loving myself and realizing that, wow, I'm actually peng with and without makeup, like, helped also my relationship, because I was not comparing myself to other girls or thinking, oh, what if he finds this girl, blah blah blah. It was like, no, because if whatever partner I'm with, whether it wasn't Joe, whether it's whoever, whatever partner I'm with, it's their loss. But yeah, that's kind of my take on the whole thing. And you know, there's always room for improvement. There are some days where I feel like shit, I'm not gonna lie. There are some days where I'm like, oh, I look disgusting, because I actually do. I feel like when I say stuff like, I realise that I'm the shit, blah blah blah, I don't want to sound like cocky or whatever. Like, I don't think that I'm better than anyone else. I'm in my own lane. I'm in my own league. Okay, guys, I'm going to close up this video because I feel like I'm waffling. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys like these kind of videos like get readies with me and then me talking, then just let me know. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and before you leave, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you guys. Bye.